today I'd like to be talking about Assassin's Creed Syndicate. I haven't really talked much about Assassin's Creed Syndicate due to the fact that I've been so overwhelmed with Batman Arkham Knight updates and regarding the Season Pass, but today I'm here to bring you some awesome information regarding this game, and I'm sure many of you already know the plot of Assassin's Creed Syndicate. It's basically revolving around London in the year 1868 during the Industrial Revolution. So the story consists of two twins, Jacob and Evie Frey, and they navigate their corridors through the organized of the Victoria era. So this is going to be really cool. You're going to be able to play as Jacob and also Evie. They just released some recent gameplay of Evie, but I'm not going to put that up. I'm showing some pre-alpha gameplay of Jacob. But I'd really like to talk about the setting and the gameplay and the whole plot. So the whole plot consists of the Assassin's Creed Brotherhood is after the twins Jacob and Evie, and that's all I'm going to say. But I also want to talk about 10 new things that are going to be new to this game, and that's one of the main reasons I'm making this video for you guys. So the first thing I want to talk about is the Carriage of Justice. So this Carriage of Justice is also new compared to the old games. The navigation, stealth, and the combat is the newest part of this game. It's a huge mix into vehicles as well. So for example, if you're Jacob and you're on your horse and you're trying to get away from someone, the enemies can jump onto your horse carriage and attack you. So you're gonna have to defend yourself in order to survive this. And I think this is a really cool feature, and also it's also implementing the vehicles. They're being integrated into each other, which is a huge key for the Assassin's gameplay elements. So this is really exciting for players and huge fans of this franchise. Another thing I also want to talk about is the Batman's Creed. And what I mean by this is, in previous games there was like a disconnect between like hand-to-hand combat, and you also had your brawling and use of huge items. But Ubisoft Quebec has taken a page from the Rocksteady book, so I'm really excited to see this, and they're implementing a huge flow of combat, much like the Arkham Knight game series, which is really huge for Syndicate. There's also some key items that are going to be mapped around the single player map, and then in between punches we're basically taking the flow of the combat from the Arkham series, which I'm going to tell you the truth, most games have tried to copy this. Spider-Man and a few other movie franchise fails, but this is going to be really huge, and I know Ubisoft Quebec can pull this off due to the fact they've tried this before in Assassin's Creed 3 and they really did a great job, and Assassin's Creed Black Flags. So also another thing I want to talk about is the London life in Syndicate. The streets of London are a huge mix for the historic landmarks, so you'll be seeing a lot of historic landmarks make their way into this game. And like Ubisoft has stated, there also is going to be a huge area designed to reflect a different face of London's personality, which is really huge. And for example, like, you're going to have iconic buildings, parks, and broad streets, like for example Southwark, meanwhile the industrial lung of London. So this is a really huge, exciting part for this game. Also the city of London, it's a huge contrast, and it's dedicated to the finance and the commercialism back how London used to be. The fifth thing I would like to talk about is Down by the River, and what Down by the River means is Ubisoft Quebec's world director Jonathan Dument basically explained visually it ties everything together and you know where you're at. So there's a huge difference in this game compared to Assassin's Creed Unity, which was released last year, and I cannot wait to see this. Also, another thing I like to talk about, which I've seen in the demo so far, which is really cool, is the whole thing regarding Jacob's thing being able to put on his hood whenever he wants. So you can walk around London with your hat being unnoticed. He has this like top hat, kind of like reminds me of like H.H. Holmes or like Sherlock Holmes or something, but you're walking around with your little stick, your little fancy stick, and your big top hat, making it seem like no one knows you. but as soon as some trouble comes nearby, or you have to do some certain missions, the hat goes off. He throws the hat or puts it away or something, takes his stick, puts it away, and puts his hood on. This is a huge part of this game, and I've noticed this in the other parts of the Assassin's Creed series, like Assassin's Creed 3. Connor was able to, in certain parts of the like missions, he'd take off his hood, and then when he's like in the forest area, he would remove his hood. I think I've also seen this in cutscenes of Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, and Assassin's Creed, I think it was Assassin's Creed Unity. Some of the cutscenes would revolve around that, which is really cool. Also, for the 19th century London, London had a huge part of the musical aspect. So a lot of musical interrogation is going to be implemented into this game, which is really exciting. And as you can see, these trigger parts of the city will trigger different parts of music through the era, so the player comes to interact with them and contact with them, which is really, really cool. Music is a huge part in this game and is really exciting, especially when you walk into the pubs, the pub bars. You'll be able to tell that the music's very flowing with the pubs. So I'm really excited to see that too. Also, another thing I like to talk about is the murderous ballads. In the 19th century, Britain, song known as murder ballads were written about notorious criminals. Like a modern example of this is Johnny Cash, My Name is Sam Hall. And that song itself is based on an Old English folk song, which is a criminal sings about a being condemned to death. Ubisoft took this idea, and guys, I'm so excited to hear this. Music is being buried deep within the folk culture of London. So they've taken all this old music and are putting it into Assassin's Creed Syndicate, which is really exciting, and not many Assassin's Creed games have pulled this off. Also, another exciting thing, fight music. So when Jacob is fighting with other enemies or nearby enemies, there's gonna be this like combat music, and dynamically when you're fighting characters, you're going to be able to feel that combat, feel that music, and feel that vibe that you're ready to kick some serious ass. Fight music for Jacob and Evie, and it's going to reflect on their personalities as well. So, like for example, Jacob is a brawler by nature. Low intensity fights, he'll emphasize also outmatching his opponent. As towards Evie, she's more towards the sneaking type, but let's cover more. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. This is a huge... I can't believe I just referenced that. But also, Jacob and Evie have a core set of combat moves to share. Ubisoft has also announced a huge attempt to make these characters brawl characters. Like Connor. Connor was more serious and was more kind of like, I'm gonna kick your ass right away. As to these protagonists, they're very brawl type. So they're like the type of that will walk into a pub and just kick your ass. So, which is really exciting. Two more things I have to cover before I end this video. Training. You also have the AI training, where before you become an assassin, you'll be able to learn training or be trained by someone, and players will be able to hop onto the top of trains and duke it out. I mean, duke it the hell out with other incoming enemies. That's something new that they've never done. So wow, just so much to cover within a few minutes, but this is all this new information I've gathered, and the Evie gameplay is different compared to the Jacob gameplay, but I'm really excited to see this, and I'm really hoping to bring you guys more within the next couple weeks regarding the Assassin's Creed game. We're only 2 months away from its release, October 23rd of 2015. Remember, these games release every single year and around October before Halloween. So with that being said, this is Critical Redemption Nights. This is going to be a huge update for you guys, and hopefully you guys enjoy this video, and let me know what you guys think about this whole combat system change, the brawl system, and everything else. Until next time, guys, happy gaming. Talk to you guys.